Hello again, my name is Gaute Espeland. In my series Building HSTouch Graphics with Powerpoint and PaintNET, this is video number 2, Importing Graphics and Working with Transparency. In the previous video, we were using PowerPoint to create a 3D tab dialog background like this and placing some icons onto the tabs. In this video, I'm going to show how these icons were created. We're going to start out with some stock graphic that installs together with HSTouch Designer. We're going to take it into a small drawing tool which is free and called PaintNET. We're going to crop it and make the edges transparent and save it as a PNG file onto the skins directory. This will make it turn up in the graphics tab of the elements toolbox in the designer, and we can place it on to a screen. We will also create some other icons, and the last one will be some fire that we will make transparent, place it into an image control, make a black and white version of it and map this up so it will track and control from HomeSeer, like it could be the living room heating turned on and off. Before we start working and creating the graphics, we need to understand the skins system of the designer. The skins maps directly to the skins folders in the HSTouch directory of your documents. The projects directory contains one file, one XML file for each project. If you open that file, you will find a lot of HTML tags describing everything in the project: name, size, position, colors, and all the graphics are referred to as a path to a image file. Observe that this is a relative path. The root of this path we find here. You can adjust this root by going Tools, Options, Designer Defaults. The only reason for changing this route would be to place it onto a network drive or a server where it could be stored more safely than on your hard drive. If you change this route, you also have to move the skins folder. So if you build a project, this project will refer to graphics pointing to it. And if you're not careful and pull in graphics from all over your hard drive, you will end up with a very difficult situation to move that project later. So we should be careful, and probably you should add a new folder in the skins directory every time you start a new project. So let's have a look at these skins folders. For every one of them, they contain one or more of these folders. The designer will create them for you, or you can create them yourself if you need them before the designer creates it. These folders maps directly on to the tabs in the elements toolbox. Buttons comes here, everything you place in graphics will turn up here, and vice versa. The only thing is the others, which is the toolbox of clean elements that you can start out with. So let's have a closer look at what these folders contain. All backgrounds that you import into your project will be copied into the backgrounds folder with a subfolder describing the size of the graphics. The buttons folder will contain your buttons stored in pairs. The file name would be made up from the name of the button -norm for the normal position graphic and -pressed for the pressed version of the graphics. These two files will turn up like one button in the buttons tab of the elements toolbox, and you can place it onto your screen as many times as you want. I will cover this very thoroughly in my next video called Buttons. The custom folder contains one XML file for each custom graphic that you have stored. You have the possibility to put onto a group box some graphics and then save selection as custom template, and it will turn up in this custom tab of the Elements toolbox. From here you can place it as many times as you like as a stamping out copies of it. The same thing goes with the thermostat and the music folder. The special thing about this is that when you save a template like this and you want to use it, it will ask you what player name should be used for all of the controls in this template. All graphic that you import into your project will be placed here in this graphic folder of the skin that is correctly selected when you import the graphic. So be careful to use one skin and to place the graphic here. The exception of this is when you are referring to status images. This can actually point out of the skins folders, so you should be careful also manually placing this graphic into the graphics folder. Sliders is much like buttons. They are stored in pairs with the name of the slider, -background for the background graphic, and -button for the button graphic. So let's start making the graphics. The tool, you can use whatever tool you like to build these PNG files. I have decided in these videos to use a free tool, which is very easy to use, and you can go download it yourself on getpaint.net. It's pretty much like Windows Paint, but it has the advantage that it can save PNG files containing an alpha channel information that will describe the transparency of the graphic, and this is exactly what we need working with HSTouch Designer. So let's get started. So let's close down PowerPoint, and as we just said, the first thing we should do now is to go to the skins folder and make a folder for our project. Let's call it Demo 2. So now we can start the designer. The designer will now read this information and gives us Demo 2 as one of the skins options in the toolbox. You see here Demo 2, and it's empty for now. So let's start creating the graphics. This is Paint.net, a neat little free drawing tool. This is the tools, this is the color selector, this is the history where we can do undo and redo, and these are the layers administration area. First of all, transparent is not white. This is a white canvas, this is not a transparent canvas. If I now select part of this white and delete it, we have now a hole in the white canvas, and this checkered area represents the total transparency. We can say that this is, we now see a checkered tablecloth through a hole in our canvas. So let's go and get the graphic that we are going to use as a starting point for our production today. Touch, skins, iPad, buttons. Here we have a nice starting point. The problem with this one is that it has the graphic we need, but it also has a gray semi-transparent area that we need to get rid of. So we open this one, and here we see this gray semi-transparent. We can see the checker area through it, but we can also see that it's gray. So we will now use this tool, which is very nice, the Magic Wand. This tool will select all the pixels that has the same color as the one we are clicking. and it has now selected all this area, and pixel by pixel it has followed around these edges. So now when we say erase selection, we have erased all this gray semi-transparent. So what we need now is to cut out the graphic we need. We use this rectangle select tool, and we select this and just go image, crop to selection. These two tools I showed you now is the basic of what we need for everything we do today. So let's save this and let's put it on the desktop, call it like this. And now we can go into the designer, we can take a image control, and we can go in and say image normal should be this graphic. And by selecting this now, the designer tells me the graphic need to be copied to your graphics folder. This will be done for you. So if we go to the graphic folder now, we see that it's here, and we can take it and use it as many times as we want. And we see that it's nice and transparent. So let's do it again. Let's go on the net and find something. Let's find a bed. The first bed that comes to mind is the Minecraft bed. This one. Select it, copy it, and we make a new canvas and paste it. And hey, we were lucky. The graphic already had defined the areas around the bed as transparent, so now we don't have to select it and delete it. So this bed we can save directly on to our skins folder. Demo 2, where are you? There you are. Call it bed, like this. And when we're in designer now, if we go in and out of the graphic folder, we can see the bed, and you can see it's transparent. Well, transparent isn't transparent, because transparent in HSTouch designer means background. So if I place this here, you see it's not transparent. What we can do to repair this, we can say lock to background. What happens now is that this is drawn on the background, so when I put this one in top, it will show the background through the transparency, and we will have a better form of transparency. Now this control is locked, so I can't move it with the mouse, but I can move it with the keyboard. But let's forget about the bed. Let's make another icon up here that is more in the same style as this one. Let's make one for the garage. Let's try to find a car icon, and it's always wise to search for PNG files. Ooh, I like this one. Let's copy this one. Go to the paint.net, make a new canvas. You see, you can switch between the one you have open like this, very nice, and paste it. Here's the car. Ooh, this one is also readily transparent. Perfect. What we need now is a circle behind it, like this one. So what we do is we place it here. We should crop it. No, we should not crop it. This is okay. But we should select this area, which should not be white. We should delete this. And then we need something behind it. So we will make a new layer. We have now added a new layer, and on that layer I can draw a circle. So I will draw a filled shape. I can use some blue for this, and I draw this on this layer. But now this layer is in front of this layer, so I should switch them like this. Looks better. I think I can live with this. So then we say save as. Into our graphics folder, we should not save the project, not the PDN, but the PNG. Call it car. And now it says, hey, but this is 2 layers. We need to flatten it because PNG can't contain 2 layers. So I say, okay, flatten it. So now we have the car. I send it a little bit too big, so we take it down. And now we see that we need to make it scale to the window size. So we say image format, stretched. Now it will scale. And we can put it up here, a little less. Something like this. We have this icon. This was very easy. Let's try something a bit more difficult. If we have a tab for a wake-up alarm, we would like a clock for that. Clock, icon, PNG, images. Ooh, this one looks nice. Let's take this one. And new file, paste image. This is the clock. It's not transparent, so we will have to make it transparent. So we take the magic wand and select and delete. We also have to select this, delete, and this area, and this area. To check now that the edges look nice, we should put a background behind it. So I'll make a new layer, take the bucket and black, and pour over the whole layer and place it behind the other one. Ooh, doesn't look very good because it has some white edges here, but placed on a blue background where we're going to use it now. Maybe it's okay. Let's remove this layer again and draw a circle behind this one too, maybe in yellow. Circle. A bit bigger maybe. Like this. Oh, I'm drawing on the same level. I can't do that. I must put it in a new layer. Like this. Yeah, I can live with that. Save as, PNG, clock, save, flatten. Ooh, it's big. It's probably faster to take it down this way. 60 times 60. That was quite small. Stretch. And take it back up to this size. It's squished. Okay, you get the point. So now we're going to do the flames, the status for the living room heating. Flames icon, images, Oh, this one is big, has higher resolution, that's good. So let's copy this, new canvas, paste it. There's something wrong. This is not the high resolution. You should go here. Oops. Copy. Paste. Expand canvas. Oh, here it is. This is the high resolution. So first let's crop it. Image, crop to selection, and make it transparent. So use the magic wand again, but see now it's also eating some of the image. That's because the tolerance is too high. So what we need to do now is undo this and reduce the tolerance and try again. This is better, but it's still eating a part of the picture. If we get the tolerance too low, this will happen. There will be a lot of gray area around the graphic that will not be selected. So that's not good either. We need to get the perfect setting. You see, this is too low. There's some gray spots here. So we'll have to, this looks very good. This looks like a clean, neat edge. So we delete this and save it. Fire. Save. In the designer. Stretched. Something like this. But now we're going to do a black and white version of this. So that's very, very easy. We just say adjustment, black and white. This is a typical thing we do for status images in HSTouch, that they'll turn gray when they're passive. Save as, fire, black and white. And now we can tell that this image should track a device in HomeSeer. So let's go to HomeSeer. I've made ready a device here. It's a virtual device, but it has the capability of be turning on and off like this. It's called living room heating, and it's on demo floor, room demo 2. So we connect this one, say status track normal. You should track a HomeSeer device. The device you should track is this one, and you should use the status image tracking it. So now it opens up this property, status images, where we can define our own images. Now it's using the standard image, but we would like to use our own images. So we go here, say add. This image should be used when the status is on. So we tell that this image should be, and now you see you are able to refer out of the skins. So we go back to our skins and say we're going to use this image when the status is on. When the status is off, we're going to use this image. So now when we click the image, it will update according to the current status. And now we can run this and check that it's responding to the change in HomeSeer. So we have HomeSeer here. We click off and it responds immediately. Click on and it responds immediately. So now it's tracking the status of this device in HomeSeer. But we also said that we should be able to click this one and do it the other way around, that this will turn on the device. So we'll turn off this ignore press, and then it opens up two more properties. One for what's happened when you press, and one what's happened when you release. Normally we use the release. So we put in a command. The action type we're going to use is a home seer action. It's one of these. And the one we're going to use is control a home seer device. Which device? Demo. And the command we want to use, it's not on or off, but it's toggle on and off. And that's exactly what we need to switch it on and off according to what the status is. So we can run it again. And now we can turn it on and off. Oops, it has a gray area around it. That's a little bug because color pressed. Here we need to put it as transparent. Let's see if that fixed it. Yes. One click, turn on. One click, turn off. Let's see that it's tracking down here. We'll have to follow this one. On. Oh yeah, we have to update because this is a web page. But still, if we turn it on and off manually, still like the thermostat can turn it on and off. So this is what we set out to do. The next video would be all about buttons. We're going to create them with PowerPoint, and it will be a lot of fun. But we needed to do this first because we need these skills as a part of the next video. So stay tuned.